In this video, I'm going to show you how Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons book has screwed up generations of amateurs. Great for pros, not for amateurs. So let's look at Ben Hogan, who was born in 1912. 63 years later, Tiger was born. You can see arms hanging down, arms hanging down. It is this setup position with the arms hanging down for pros is fine, but the problem is the pros who teach the setup and then the swing that comes from it only teach this setup. And the reason why is because, well, is frankly, it reminds me of Shawshank Redemption. Remember the Shawshank Redemption scene about being institutionalized? Well, let me tell you something. The golf swing setup position is absolutely institutionalized. Let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to zip through. I went on YouTube and I looked up golf swing setup or whatever it was, and then I just picked a bunch of videos, random pros, and you can see arms hanging down, 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 arms hanging absolutely straight down. Boom, look at this. Now this guy can do it because he can hit the ball. He's got a great swing, but amateurs can't do it. It's amazing, and it's like they show amateurs over and over again how to do it. It's like, that's great. Thank you for showing me what you can do. Now help me figure out what I can do. Here we go. Now you see what they do. You're gonna put a hand there, or you're gonna put a fist there to make sure that the butt end of the club is close to your body. Here we go. Another one. Arms hanging straight down, and even a national, like so the PGA of America, the national organization, teacher of the year, exact same thing. No matter who it is, they set up everybody exactly the same, with no consideration for anyone's movement skills or limitations or anatomy and physiology and kinesiology and all the rest of it. Clearly, the golf swing setup position is absolutely institutionalized. So what does Ben Hogan tell us himself about the setup? So this is on page 73 of his book, 5 Lessons. He says the hips initiate the downswing. They're the pivotal. Hips are pivotal element in the chain reaction, the kinematic chain. It takes the hips. So moving the hips properly takes the hips out of the way and gives your arms plenty of room to pass. That is the key, room to pass. Then on page 70, this is probably 75 actually, sorry, 75. The surest way to erect this remarkable machinery is to start the downswing with the hands instead of the hips. If the average golfer will only start his downswing with his hips, what a world of difference this will make in his swing and his shots, not to mention his score. Well, that's true. The problem is what Ben Hogan and all these other pros don't understand is, because they're not amateurs, is that amateurs cannot move their hips the way pros move their hips. Now, what should that look like? And so when you think about like Tiger Woods, what a dynamic move he made. I mean, Ben Hogan, unbelievably dynamic move. So when you think of a guy like Zach Johnson, you don't typically think of this, dynamic move compared to Hogan and Tiger Woods. But nonetheless, all pros are very, very dynamic and very, very graceful, like they're doing a dance. I just did a video about the golf swing being like a dance using Fred Astaire and Elvis Presley. So you can see how graceful Zach looks moving through the ball. Where's his weight? Lateral arch, lateral heel and lateral arch of the lead foot. Where amateurs, all over the place. So this is a pro setup, which I can totally do. I can do the pro setup just like a pro, and that's where it ends. Because I cannot do this like Zach Johnson can do. I played golf with Zach Johnson for 18 holes in a Hooters Tour Pro-Am. Geez, how long was that? That would have been back in 2002, maybe. Is that right? So at least 20 years ago. A little over 20 years ago, and man, could he move! I was like, geez, this is a different movement skill. Now my movement wasn't as bad as poor Riggs from Foreplay Golf and Barstool Stores, but look at Riggs. When he sets up like the pro, Riggs can set up like a pro for sure, but he cannot move like a pro, so he does amateur stand-up. Now what's interesting to me is that Riggs with the Barstool Sports and the Foreplay Golf and all of his buddies, they do podcasts and all kinds of stuff. They have a lot of fun. So these guys, so here's Foreplay Golf. Kisner and Riggs play Barstool Classics. So here's Kevin Kisner, right? PGA Tour winner, great golfer, great move. I mean, a swing that we should all try to emulate. Just stand back further from the ball. Now, this is what Kisner, in my view, should say to Riggs. Riggs, if you can shoot between 75 and 85 on your toes, you could probably be close to scratch if you learn to swing from your heels like me. Well, swing from your heels like I. Look at that. Should have probably used I there. Swing from your heels like I swing from my heels. So what's the difference? Look at Kisner well through impact. So you can see Kisner and Riggs' club is pretty much in a similar position. Look at Kisner's feet and look at poor Riggs. Up on his toes because the guy crowds the ball. There's just no, it's never ending. So why doesn't Riggs back up? Why doesn't Kisner tell him to back up? Because the setup position in golf where you stand close to the ball is absolutely institutionalized. There's just no way around it. Let's look at another Foreplay Golf guy. I forget what this guy's name is, but look how close he is to the ball. But he's got a professional setup. Let's look at his impact position. Whoops, stand up. Amazing, right? So this is me where I kind of move the club out. You kind of watch. Oops, well, it's hard to tell. I just did a cut and paste and move and set up some space here. So my hips are already cleared at setup. This is the other Foreplay Golf at setup, and let's look at him at impact. I have more space between my hands and my legs at setup than this guy has at impact, which is why he stands up. There's no way around this issue. It simply is an undeniable fact of mathematics and kinesiology. So the pro setup on the left versus the amateur setup on the right, these are two different golf universes. The left side, you need to be able to move your hips like pros do. The right side, if you back up enough, the demand is taken away. So remember, if you take the hips out of the way, or moving the hips properly, takes the hips out of the way and gives your arms plenty of room to pass by your body. I can't do it like this, and 99% of you don't do it well either. I can do it better like this, nothing special or perfect, but this is the way to set up to a golf ball so that your hips are already cleared. It is that simple to do. The issue is trying it and doing it, and plus the pressure to not do it is unbelievable. Here's another pro, Adam Bazalgette, 3-time PGA Teacher of the Year. He does the lag shot golf goofy blue club practice thing, and he has a video about how to set up to the ball. So what does he do? He sets up just like everybody else, nothing different. Now this is me. Now look how far my hands are from my body compared to Adam. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I mean, it looks so different and so goofy and so unusual, so unusual. So what I'm going to show you now is the impact, just at impact or slightly after impact. So watch how great Adam Bazalgette's rotational movement is compared to mine. Look at that. I mean, look at him. He's off of his forefoot. He's on his lateral arch and heel. Great hip rotation. And watch what happens to his head as he moves backwards. Look at that. That's how great these guys are at rotating. Watch. You want to watch Adam, not me. Look at this. Unbelievable. Now, I don't have a line in front of my head because I don't really move backwards. Watch me. I just stay in that position because I'm already out of the way. So even with me being this far out of the way, I lack the ability to rotate my hips as much as Bazalgette does because I am an amateur. I lack professional dynamic rotational movement skills, and so do you. So why is it so complicated for pros to simply have amateurs back up? Bazalgette and everybody else is here, and the rest of us need to move back depending upon our rotational movement skills. What you want to do is something what I did here. Took my iPhone, put it on a stand, put it on a camera thing, and what's it called, a stand? It's a tripod stand thing. Put it behind me, took some swings, went home, put it on my computer, and I simply took screenshots to see my impact and setup positions. That's what you can do, and then you can figure out where you should be distance from the ball. So this is so obvious and so logical and so kinesiologically and mathematically sound. Why is it not taught? It's because of the institutionalization, which is powerful, plus the unbelievable lack of science education that golf professionals have. So most common majors in college for golf professionals: business, marketing, parks and recreation management, and just management in general. Let's blow this up from this website, Zippia. You can see them all right on down the line. Here's kinesiology. Now the thing is, even if you do a degree in kinesiology, you still might, because of the Shawshank institutionalization, be setting people up way too close to the ball. Just apply, if you're a golf teaching pro, just apply your kinesiology education, and you can see exactly you've got to back people up. There's just no way around it. So we have kinesiology, we have health education. So this is very general, minimal sciences typically in terms of, well, maybe not. It's hard to say. Yeah. It's more like physical education type stuff. Become a PE teacher. But here you have just 4% with legit science education. And of course, you have the unbelievable outlier, just the one guy, Bryson DeChambeau, who was a physics major. Okay, so what is so clearly obvious here? The golf swing is a complex psychophysiological and psychokinesiological event. To understand it requires training in anatomy, physiology, neurobiology, and kinesiology. Now the problem again is, even with all this, if you're not mentally fit enough to break with tradition, you will be Shawshanked. You will still teach people to stand up too close to the ball and be institutionalized. So you want to set yourself free from that. Set yourself free from that. So Hogan told us to set up like this, and every golf pro, for the vast, vast, vast majority, as I just showed you with the screenshots from the different YouTube channels, they all lockstep and do exactly what Hogan says. So Ledbetter and McLean and Rick Smith and the Harmons, they all set people up the same way because it's institutionalized. To go out here, they cringe. They don't even know what to do, for whatever reason it is. But it's so simple and so obvious. So since they're not going to do it and tell you, maybe some will after they watch this and they realize how goofy it is to set people up so close. For you to set yourself free, all you have to do is do the videoing I told you how to do previously, like I did. Figure out what your setup position is, and then back up and make sure that you maintain your spine angle through impact and your head does not rise up. And to learn to use your feet better and your legs better. Now this is an exaggeration of flat feet and leg and hip motion and lateral lunging motion with rotation through the ball. It's an exaggeration to teach the brain to do what the pros do dynamically and quickly, which is difficult to see. So this is the lateral lunge driver drill and the squatting driver drill, which I discuss in these two videos. So you don't have to buy this book to do these things. You know how you get all those videos where you get the special deals, like Hank Haney, 30 or 40 or 60-minute intro to buy the thing? Just watch, just do what I told you to do up here. Really simple, what I did, and then do these drills, and that will change your golf life. I get lots of messages from people. I backed up and I can hit the ball straight finally. I'm not standing up anymore. This is so much fun now. Yes, absolutely. And you can have more fun if you go over to Amazon, put in the name of the book, and look inside to see what else might be of use to you.